G'day everyone, Rachel from Rara's Stitching Realm. If you haven't watched any of the Christmas countdown videos, you may not be aware of the channel name change. I'll get to that. I'm Rach. Yes, welcome. I'm a bit out of touch. I'm in a different background, it's all weird. Yes, so I have changed this channel, Rara's Realm, to Rara's Stitching Realm. And I have created an additional channel called Rara's Other Realm for all the non-stitching stuff. So all the sort of haul things that you were seeing in November and the countdown in December and all of that will all shift over to Rara's Other Realm, and this will solely stay as a cross-stitching channel. So yeah, you know, if you are only here for the stitching, its service is normal, sort of. So this is a recap of 2020 and then what's going to happen in 2021. I think the big thing in 2020 for me is that I really lost my stitching bug. I really struggled. You'd have thought with all the time on my hands with lockdown and stuff like that that I would have stitched up a storm. It was the opposite for me. I don't know why when I had the time I couldn't do it. So this has been a pretty poor year of stitching. So I thought probably what I would do, because next year is on a different, how do I describe it? It's a different subject, if you like. So I thought what I'll do is I'll show you what I've started this year, I'll show you what I've finished this year, and I'll do a current whip parade. So I'll go through everything that I've got in some form of start. And then I'll talk about what I'm going to do next year. So I think that's the best thing. Now, I haven't taken everything out of the bags. I'm going to be bending down and pulling project bags out so that it's easier. Well, it just was going to take too long and it would be too complicated to try and put everything back with the right threads and everything like that. So I have got my handy dandy notebook with my little list of what I did for what I started. I think I went into 2020 with something like 8 or 10 whips. I'm not exactly sure now because I don't have it written somewhere easy for me to find. It might be somewhere in this book, but it's not easy for me to find. And my plan for 2020 was to have no new starts, with two exceptions, and that was the Modern Folk Embroidery 2020 sale and the Mirabilia Touching the Autumn Sky that I was being lent by a viewer who lives in Australia. I then broke my rules and I started something else. That's a secret. Nobody knows. So, let me show you in my little bag, project bag that I use for my presidential blue, oh, don't bang the table, presidential blue things. I have got, oh, that's interesting. I have got a lot of organising to do. So this is the 2020 Modern Folk Embroidery Sale, 2020, just lovely. My goal was to do the top row, but it didn't work out like that. I got as far as the middle here on the top row, so I'm part way through part 3. Some people have said I could do this for next year, but we'll... I've just seen something. I'll come back to that. Right, so you'll have to just bear with me as I get organised. I'm not organised. I just suddenly thought I need to get this video done. So that's pretty much, there's just a teensy bit over the line there. Oh, there's a needle there too. That is what I got done. That's 2.5 parts. Yeah, halfway through part 3, 2.5 parts. I'm doing this on 36 count raw linen with presidential blue, and it does look lovely when I look at it in the screen like that. But again, just stitchy mojo. Just couldn't, is that actually attached? No. Yes. Couldn't, I just don't know what it is. I should have been miles ahead. I look at all these people who have finished it already, but you can't operate like that. So, back into its bag. 2021 is the year of samplers. It's got sampler in the title. Okay. It is not on the immediate radar for next year, let's put it that way. But I'll come to that. Right, let's just close that bag without jamming the stitch, the zip. There's a stray thread. I've got an itchy nose. The next thing that I allowed myself to start was touching the autumn sky, Mirabilias, touching the autumn sky. This is an out of print chart, and I'm being lent it very kindly. So, and I'm looking after it, and she is happy for me to take a break. And she knows where the chart is. She knows where I live. It's okay. This is as far as we have got. Are we on the right? No. I think that's better. Yes. So that's the bulk of the front of her apron and her feet. So I'd say we're about a third of the way through. Again, we could have done better. It's actually looking at, sitting back here, holding it, looking in the screen, it looks really nice. It's looking good. It's just a shame I couldn't sort myself out and actually get it finished. Again, stitchy babies, you know. That is the story of 2020. I've just had a thought. Okay, no, I started that in October 2019. Alright, that's alright. The other new start, which nobody knows about, not even the girls at Stitchy Group, because I was having a poor time with my stitching bug, I decided that I was breaking all my rules and I was just going to do what I wanted, just stitch. Find something that you want to stitch and just get on and do it. So I decided to start, I shouldn't really bend it, it'll muck up the chart, this little number. And my goal, I'm in the dark, sorry, the plan was to have it finished by Christmas. I'm hilarious. This is Jolly St. Nick and Rudolph by Stitching with the Housewives, Priscilla and Chelsea. Yeah. So I did start Great Guns, and I was stitching, I think in the first week of December I stitched every day. And then the whole, can't be bothered stitching thing came back. Oh, see, came back again. This is a very slapdash video, I have to say. So I brought the fabric, I don't know the name or the count, but I think it's possibly 32, from a lady at Stitchy Group who didn't like it. And this is as far as I got. So all of this side is complete, just ignore my hanging threads. All of this side is complete, and I'm pretty much, I think, yeah, I'm at the turn. So it's not a big ornament. Well, it's bigger than maybe normal, but it's not a big piece. I just couldn't pull my finger out. I'm substituting a lot of threads. I basically, when I decided to stitch it, I was like, I'm not ordering anything with postal issues and certainly nothing from America. So I just went through my tin of over-dyed threads. I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think I have got, or 6. 6 I had of the original, and I substituted the rest. So eventually what I'll do is put a photo on Instagram when this is finished in over a year's time. It's in a nice document wallet because I don't have any spare project bags and I wasn't going to make any. Yeah, I'll stick a photo up with my substitutions on Instagram when I eventually finish it. So those were my starts. My finishes were 2. At least I finished something. So I finished, and I haven't ironed anything as normal. This is not the professional channel. I finished Country Cottage Needleworks Ornamental Joy, which is just beautiful. And I finished Pineberry Lane's Bringing Home the Tree, which I had brought as a kit at a cross-stitch sale. Let's see if I can fix Santa up a little bit. That's where he probably should have been ironed. It's Bringing Home the Tree. So those are my 2 finishes for 2020. Well, at least we finished something. So now don't bang the camera. I'll shut that because I don't need that open anymore. So now I thought I would just do a whip parade of what I currently have, which are obviously not finished, so that we have a marker. I will photograph them at some point. I have actually brought in the Boxing Day sales a new vlogging camera, but they didn't have an actual unit in store, so I'm waiting for it to be delivered to the store so I can go and collect it. Hopefully I will be able to do a bit more editing and things like that, up my game a little bit. Anyway, in no particular order, we'll save that one till later, and we'll save that one till later. In this little bag, we should have, this, which I've kind of decided to not finish. But who knows, next year I might change my mind. But I'm going to say it one more time, it's a diddy little piece. It came as a kit from Country Sampler. So it's on 36 count. So the house, I think, is completely done, or is the door still to be done? No, it looks like I still need to do the door. It just wasn't calling my name, and maybe that's because of the year that I've had with stitching. So we'll just see. I'll leave it in here for now with everything, and we'll see what happens in 2022. Alright, what else have we got in this bag? We have got that one, and that one. Okay. So, in this little pink bag that I actually made, we have got, this is the one I would like to have also sorted, but I didn't. Pond Lily. She is so close to finishing. Well, so close to cross-stitch finishing. She's not ready for beading or anything like that. So that's where we are at with Pond Lily. She needs her wing finished and her head and her beads. And I should have done it, but I don't know. Me and stitching this year have not been good friends. Okay. Then in another bag I made, we have got Cooper, Kathy Barrick's Cooper. Actually, you can stay folded in half. This is being done on 36 count Ren. Yeah, we're probably under a third of the way through. Am I doing it in the called fours? DMC. Yep, then DMC. So, and possibly the fabric is the right fabric too. 34, they call 40 count Ren. So yeah, I'm on the right fabric with the right threads. And also in this little pile, in a bag that Susan gave me, who was lending me Touching the Autumn Sky, is Christmas samplers, Prairie Schooler Christmas samplers. And I'm working on the middle one, which is The Night Before Christmas. And I actually did great guns on this for a little while, back when I sort of got back into stitching a little bit, but then it fell by the wayside again. So we're there. It's going to be lovely when it's done. And there's room on this material to do another one, which will be good to have a couple that perhaps match on the same fabric. Right, that's that pile. And then these ones that haven't seen the light of day for quite some time. This is Santa's Village. I'm not even sure where we're up to. I should have shut my laptop. I don't even know if we've stitched on this year. I can't even remember what I was supposed to be doing at the beginning of the year. Okay. So we have finished row 1 of 4 houses. That's where we're up to. I haven't started under yet. No, I haven't started the second row yet. That looks good too. Oh. Don't say it again. Okay, this one. This piece I will be doing in my coffin, I feel. It's going to take me forever and a day. Hawk Run Hollow, Village of Hawk Run Hollow. By Carriage House Sampling. And I'm only in block 2. I think I've still got work to do on block 2. Finish those blooming trees. Yeah. So close to a finish on block 2, but it's just those trees. And then I think there's a bird on the top of the trees. Otherwise, everything else and that block is actually finished. And that's block 1 and 2 together. So I'm not sure the name of this fabric. I think I got this fabric. Ow, needle. Let's hope there's nothing. Oh, there is something attached to it. Okay. I'll just do that and figure it out when we next open the bag. Alright. Then we have, getting down to the bottom of the whip pile bag. This is Blackbird Designs Garden Club series, and for the faithful followers among you, you know I've had some problems with this. All my own fault, of course. So that's parts 1 to 4, and I have some problems here where I miscounted at the bottom, so I'm going to have to do some jiggery-pokery to the one below. So that block is just about finished. What does it need? Or is it finished? Excuse my head. Okay, so it's got words which I'm not sure what I'm going to do about. It just needs a moth or a insect there in the top corner. So that block, gosh, why didn't I know that? I could have done that. Oh well, such is life. So that is that. 12 pieces. I'm a quarter of the way through, pretty much. And I think this has been done on raw linen too, off the top of my head. And it will be 32 count. It was a while before I realised I could still stitch on 36, which I now take advantage of. And in here there's a whole lot of just little Christmassy things. I'll show you. This little number, where is he? This one got retired to the naughty step because I couldn't get on with it. This is a Mill Hill kit, Snowbells. Snowbells, and that is, it's Jingle. And I am, that's how far I have got. His sweater and his scarf. But yeah, I wasn't enjoying stitching on it at all, so he got relegated to the naughty step. So that's actually bar 2, which I'll show you, are the whips I'm taking into 2022, it will be. Okay, so my plans for 2021 is a year of samplers. So I have 2 more whips to show you that will be worked on in 2021, and I have worked out a rotation. Yes, Jill, you can roll your eyes. I'm going to have a 21-day rotation, 7 projects worked over 3 days each. Excuse me, I'm talking too much. And filming wise, I have worked out I'm going to film on the 10th, the 20th and the 30th of the month. So that should give us 3 to 4 projects each time I film, providing I've stitched. So I have got a selection of smallish samplers other than the 2 I'm taking into next year. I've gone for slightly smallish in the vain hope that I'll get some of them finished next year. And my plan is that as I finish something up until the 1st of November, this is I think my cut-off date, any finishes between the 1st of January and the 1st of November will be a new sampler start. After the 1st of November, I don't think I'll start a new sampler. As I finish things, I think I'll just work on some of the things I've shown you. Just, or some Christmas ornaments or something like that. I think I don't want to end up going into 2022 with potentially 7, well, I've already got 2, so 5 more whips. So I want to sort of cross them off. If I've got plenty of time to do another one, I'll do another sampler. But as we get closer to November, I will just, when I finish that slot, I will just do something else. That is kind of my plan. Plans are subject to change. My game, my rules. So who knows what will happen, but that is how I am starting the year. 7 projects, 5 new starts, 3 days each, a 21-day rotation. Flosstube videos filmed on the 10th, the 20th and the 30th of the month, my days. So that's the day before for probably 2/3 of you. Yeah, I think that's it. So I am not showing you the 5 new starts today. You will see, let me just have a wee look. Can I open this quickly? Yes. Alright, so you will see 2 of the new starts on the next video on the 10th of January. So the 2 samplers I'm taking in to 2021 are Sarah Casey Unwin by Chessie and me. And this came as a kit, I believe. Did I get it as a... Oh... I think this came as a kit from Country Sampler, or did I buy it kitted up? I can't remember now. I think it came as a kit. So, this doesn't have the tag on it. This should be all called for. So this is where we're at currently. Almost finished the big basket. We've just got this flower to do. And some leaves on the stalk. That's the needle. Let's just shift the needle up here. So I think this is a 6-page chart or something like that. I'm not sure. Let's show you side by side. Oh, that's a good idea, Rach. So you can see that oh, stop glare there. under the basket there are words, and then we get onto the house. So, you know, hopefully this is achievable for next year to finish this. But we'll know in January how good my stitching is, and whether the year of samplers has got the stitchy bug back again. So that's one whip we are taking into next year. And the other whip, which is woeful, which I also think is being stitched on the cord for, is sitting there reading the chart, Lucy Calcott, 1825. This is the first Lucy, and I am doing it on the called for fabric, which is light exemplar, 32 count I'm doing, and I'm using DMC, not silks. And this is where we are at with Lucy. So her border is done on the top. I think this is something like a 9-page, so the first 3 pages the border is complete, so it's just all the stuff in between now that needs doing, all the flower baskets and bits and bobs. So I guess if I was to set a goal for this, I would like to be at the end of 6 pages. I'm sure it's a 9-page chart. 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So I would like to be 2/3 of the way through at the end of this time next year. So finished up to page 6 would be my goal, which will be somewhere in here somewhere. So we sort of like that amount done. I think that's about right. How much? Yeah, it's halfway through. So the line, I think, is around here. So that's, I'd like to be that far. Oh dear. I shouldn't do that, should I? Where's the needle? The needle's there. Okay. So, and yes, as I said, there are 5 new starts, but I will reveal those to you over the course of January. January, the first 21 days of January, you will find out what they are. Yeah, right. I kind of feel that's it. I've done half an hour, gosh. Well, I hope everyone's had a better stitching year than me, and that you've got some fun plans for 2021. Share them below. What are you planning on doing? How are you planning on doing it? Do you have a rotation, Jill? Donna? Yeah, I think that is it. This is. I apologise for the haphazardness of this, but I suddenly thought I need to get this done. Because tomorrow I need to start a sampler, I think, or not, I don't know. It's on my list. It's in my book, on my list. I know the order. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for sticking with me through all the non-stitchy videos. Those will now go on to my other channel, so this is purely going to be cross-stitch, and I will see you all back next year. Have a safe new year if you're planning to celebrate, but if you are celebrating, social distance, break the transmission. I can't implore you enough, break the transmission. That's the only way we're going to get rid of this. We've done it in New Zealand. You know, my life is pretty much normal. All I have to do when I go out that reminds me that there is a pandemic is I scan the app so that there is an electronic record of where I've been. In case something gets into the community. Our only cases now are people bringing it in when they return to New Zealand. So, and those people are New Zealanders or New Zealand residents who are allowed to return. We certainly don't have any holiday makers or anything like that. That's all still closed. know, if I had it my way, they wouldn't get on a plane until they've tested negative 3 times. But I'm not in charge. So just break the transmission. And if you haven't got elected officials who are telling you to do that, do it yourself. You know, the only way you can keep yourself safe is by staying away from people who couldn't care less whether they spread it or not. Anyway, I'll stop soapbox. Have a good new year, and I will catch you back on the 10th of January. Thanks, everyone.